Right, Forest fans, Max Newton here, giving you a quick review of Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 1, Monday Night Football at Selhurst Park. I think that's a decent point away from home at Palace, a team that are, they blow hot and cold a bit, but they did brilliantly in the FA Cup semi-final to beat Villa, and they're on a good run of form, and they've got some quality players that are really turning up in the second half of the season. So I think that's a decent result. And you know what? It's a point that it arrests the slide. It arrests run of consecutive defeats, of poor performances. It's what you have to do at some points of the season. You have to go back to basics, and you have to shit out yourself a point or two here or there. And we did that in survival seasons under Steve Cooper, and that's what we need to do now, because we take a point away at Crystal Palace, and Champions League football's still very much in our hands. We take it to 3 games to go, and if we win all 3 games, we get Champions League football. That's that. If we win one more game or get 2 more draws, we get Europa League football. And we'd take that, certainly take that at the start of the season, and we'd have taken that, a couple of weeks ago. So, absolutely fine. Onto today's team. I was a little surprised at the starting lineup. I thought we'd seen the last of Sangare, to be honest. But to be fair, he did pretty well when he came on in the FA Cup semi-final against Man City, I thought. Started the game. I was surprised to see him start. I thought he looked a little nervous early on. I was about to jump behind the sofa every time he got the ball on the edge of our box, but he slowly got more and more into the game, and I thought he did a good job. I thought he moved the ball along, he recycled the ball nicely. He seemed to get passed around a little bit, but it certainly didn't look like he could only play in the Premier League if he had loads of time on the ball. More time than you get in the Premier League, which was the accusation that was sort of we're looking at about Sangare for a while. So I thought he played pretty well. And you know what? On the telly they were going on about Forest not really being in the match after Murillo went off, but really it was after Sangare went off that Palace really sort of poured forward, and for the last 10-15 minutes of normal time and a bit of extra time, we struggled to get into the Palace half, and Palace had a few chances. So the game itself, I thought it's a shame that Elanga doesn't score that goal on the breakaway in the first half, doesn't it? I thought Palace started the game obviously on top and asking more questions, but then we exerted our authority on the game by restricting Crystal Palace to the ball in the back and trying to play Hollywood balls out to their wingers, or balls into our central defenders from not great angles, and our defenders just ate them up all day long like cheese and beetroot cobs. And then we got onto the attack, and we saw absolutely wonderful break when Moore Gibbs White turns in the box and plays it forward, and I think Dominguez, who chose Chris Wood, lovely ball to Elanga. Elanga hits the shot, takes a little deflection off the defender actually, and Dean Henderson makes a great save. I think Henderson made another couple of really good saves in the first half as well. Equally, Matt Sells made a brilliant save in the first half too, where he got down well. But I thought, Forest ended the half the better team, on top, quietened down the Palace crowd, and sort of had them where we wanted them without getting that goal, that all important goal. Second half was much more even affair. Should we have had a penalty in that first half? I mean, Chris Wood was definitely pulled down. I think it's one where if the referee gives it on the pitch, it's not overturned by VAR, and it could easily have given it on the pitch. He's pulled down. So he might not have had contact for a long amount of time, but he doesn't need to have a long amount of time contact to throw somebody down. So I don't know. I think it's one of those where if it's Mo Salah or if it's Isaac or somebody like that, it's given as a penalty, but not against Forest. Obviously, Palace got a penalty. He was going down. He was going down before Matt Sells got anywhere near it. Maybe Dominguez fouled him, or I think it was Dominguez. But I think he was going. I think he'd lost control. The ball was out of his reach, and I think he was going down before Matt Sells made contact with him, to be honest. I know on telly they thought it was a definite penalty. I think apparently Danny Murphy on the radio thinks it wasn't a penalty at all. So, the referee didn't give it, the lino didn't give it. Was there enough? Was it clear and obvious? What was it enough, with the high bar and all that to overturn it? I don't think he's going down because of Matt Sells. I'm saying that. And then as for the penalty, does Eze take two steps backwards in his run up? I think he's allowed this business, and I think he takes a jump backwards. And I don't think that's allowed. And I think next season, I think we'll see a tightening up of those laws, and I think we'll see penalties like that not allowed next season. But that's the way it is. Laws are applied inconsistently from week to week, from game to game, from season to season. Including Andy Madley seemingly thinking that any sort of contact is a foul and any sort of foul is a yellow card. I mean, we racked up 8 yellow cards in a game that was not dirty or bad tempered whatsoever. So really bizarre. I think the one that Sangare picked up was never a yellow. The one that Morgan Gibbs White picked up was never a yellow. I think Milenkovic might have picked up one that was never a yellow as well. And on the telly they reckon that Andy Madley's assistant, referee team would have told him that he should have booked Sangare, and basically implying that's why they booked him for that one. There's no way to referee top flight professional football. Anyway, Forest responded really well. Nico Williams, took a touch edge of the box, after a great save from Henderson from a Langer free kick. So the corner came in, out to Nico Williams, decent hit. Murillo puts out a foot, flicks into the top corner. Henderson going the wrong way. 1-1, brilliant. And then, like I say, Palace had better over the last 10-15 minutes. Had the ball in the net, was blatantly offside. And SA hit the bar. And so I think, Alanga, brilliant first half, really quiet second half. Chris Wood held the ball up well, again first half, much less so second half. I thought first half also had some lovely flicks from Morgan Gibbs White. But Elliot Anderson, probably the best midfielder. Strength, passing, breaking up play, all round top performance. So he'd be my Forest man of the match. And basically it's in our own hands. Going to the next 2 games against Leicester at home, West Ham away. Got to be 2 wins in those games, and probably therefore take it down to the last game of the season at home against Chelsea. Europa League confirmed and up for Champions League football. Take that. Come on, you Reds.